Let's move on quickly. Efforts to rid Nigeria of smuggling are intensifying. In another operation in Kebbi State, the Nigeria Customs Service seized 11,650 liters of petrol. The command also recovered 40 cartons of foreign spaghetti, 50 bales of second-hand clothing, 28 cartons of 50 mg diclofenac tablets, and 10 jerrycans of vegetable oils, valued at 14 million naira. How do you hear?
First of all, I think I wish to commend the efforts of the new Comptroller General of Customs, because almost every week, we have reports of, we can see the dividends of his efforts, all over the country. I think last week it was in Port Harcourt, where cache of arms brought into the country were, discovered by customs. So I'm impressed. The other impressive thing I can see is that I'm happy to see that the NSA, National Security Advisor, is also involved. Because national security is not just about sitting down and buying equipment for military, police. It's also about every aspect that has to do with the security of the country. So I'm happy that there is also a synergy between the Office of the National... In fact, it's being coordinated by the Office of the National Security Advisor. But I think there are still a lot of challenges. For instance, Nigeria has about 1,400 unmanned borders, that nobody, actually monitors what happens in these areas. Nigeria has become one of the most porous countries in the world. That's why you see that anybody can just come into the country. If you walk around Lagos, you see a lot of people from Niger, from Sudan. We wonder how they didn't mind it to come in when we're supposed to have. And in actual fact, I think we have 86 border posts. Land border post, when you are talking about 1,400 illegal routes. And I think we have about 14 borders on the coast. And Nigeria has, we share maritime borders with Equatorial Guinea, with Sao Paulo and Principe, then with Ghana, about 5 countries. So it's large, through the Gulf of Guinea, it's about 6,000 kilometers. So you can imagine a lot of things that can come into that country, to this country, without anybody discovering them. So I think we need to adopt more of technology, area surveillance. We need to use unmanned area vehicles. That is the only way we can deal with these problems. If you look at the manpower that we have, customs is just about 18,000 manpower, then immigration about 23,000. It's not enough to man these areas. What we should do is to copy what other countries are doing by investing in drones so that we can capture these images and then call for reinforcement where need be. I commend the efforts of the customs, what they have, the ability to track down these smugglers, but we still have a lot of things to do. If you don't man these ports, by air, by land, by sea, I think we'll continue to be at risk.
All right, Adekule, Operation Whirlwind is just about 5 weeks old and is already yielding significant progress. How do you react to this report?
I think it's the way to go. Look at the state of the economy. I think everybody seems to recognize the fact that we don't have another country. We must all work hard, to salvage the situation. And if the customs give it to the leadership of the current leadership of customs, even the overall boss, Bashiru Adeni, he's everywhere. Unlike in the past when in the whole year, you may not even hear or see the CJ. So it's from every day, you see him in every part of Nigeria. And I'm always really impressed. And from even many engagements I've been fortunate to be part of, you see heads of government agencies even commenting him that usually they will be the one to recommend to the customs that, you need to help us in this area. That this time around, they even have somebody who will sit down on his own, come up with areas that he thinks social agency, because they work with a lot of agencies, And with this, if we continue with this passion, all of us will benefit because the economy, if it improves, it benefits everybody. We can't allow smugglers to just take everything above the border or bring in everything. That's not the way to go. No country does that. Why it is happening in Nigeria, Ade has said a lot about them because even if you double the numbers in military, in the customs, in immigration, they still cannot achieve it. So the best way, technology, and technology. Let me tell you one thing. There was a day we were around there, I think Lake Michigan, it shares border with Canada like this, and you didn't see anybody. And I wanted to enter. They tell me that the moment you enter into that lake, it will ring an alarm, and before you know it, in 2-3 minutes time, before you even cross to the other side, they come over to you. So that is technology. And we don't need to invent anything. All these things have been invented. We just, partake in the benefits. We can do it.
All right, BKO, I want you to react to how we can continue to man our porous borders. And also, it looks like Operation Whirlwind is working, because it was just about 2 weeks ago we had this discussion on JH on Sunday. Especially also because this is not the first time the Office of the NSA and Customs would be collaborating. But it looks like this is working.
Yes, but we also need to resolve the issue of our currency. Suddenly, the Nigerian currency is the weakest in this part of Africa. In the West Coast, all of the currencies are stronger than our currency. That has triggered greater smuggling, especially of petroleum products. Now, even food, grains, they depend a lot on Nigeria for grains, and farmers here now see a greater incentive in shipping grains across the border, because the CFA that used to be very weak, that people used to mock, is now stronger than our currency. I never knew that day could come. I never believed that day could come when the Nigerian currency will be weaker than the CFA. So you can see now that there's a lot of smuggling of petroleum products across the border, and it's now even triggering scarcity within our country, because they stand to make a lot of money, where if they take petrol across the border. It is sold at not less than 950 naira per liter outside of Nigeria. And you see a lot of trucks are now going across the border. So what we should improve is the tracking of trucks that are bearing petroleum products, especially PMS, so that we can ensure that there is no diversion of those trucks. If we do that, if we do tracking of those trucks, if we do it very well, we will be able to limit the incidence of smuggling. But with our currency in such a weak state, we will continue to experience a lot of smuggling, especially to Niger Republic, that shares a border with at least 6 Nigerian states in the northwest and in the northeast. So the vigilance has to be a lot better. Otherwise, even food security that we want badly, we will not achieve it, because people are pushing grains across the border against the law.
All right, gentlemen. I mean, it's also great to hear the controller of the command say that the seized PMS would be auctioned to the public with the expectation of generating 8 million and will be paid to the coffers of the federal government, because many Nigerians had always wondered what they do with this 6th product. But gentlemen, let's go on a commercial break, and when we come back, we will continue this conversation. Stay with us.